Welcome back to another episode of The Real Teachers of Atlanta. I am Joya.
Ms. Coleman.
Nikki.
And Ty.
Today we're going to be talking about, should students have a mental health day?
Not they stressed out. They stressed?
Let's get into it.
Justin, do you hear me? I'm quaky, I'm tired. I worked hard at school.
I get that. I worked hard today too.
I don't know why you're so cranky.
I worked hard at school.
I worked hard at work, but I'm not as cranky as you.
We got the queens in the house, y'all. Real teachers of Atlanta. We got the queens in the house, y'all.
I don't know. First of all, don't they already kind of have those with teacher work days? What's that? Teacher work day, kids are out.
Kids are out a lot.
They are out of school a lot.
Teacher work days, they have the digital learning
I don't
days.
count that. I don't count digital learning days.
They're not, but they don't do
no work.
So that's still mental health
Okay,
day for
okay.
them, technically.
Well, students feel like they have a lot of tests.
They do. We are testing a lot.
That is very true. Going through things with their peers.
Sure.
So they are feeling overloaded. So they feel like they too should have a mental health day. We take them as teachers.
Well, okay.
we
I
don't
feel
say
like
it
that's
out-
different though.
But
like,
we don't say it out loud that that's what we're doing because that's frowned upon.
it's PTO. Should kids have PTO?
Well, they take their days off when they want
Oh, okay. So then they already got their days.
to. Coleman, what do you think?
Well, if they got to read, that's overload right there. So they need a break.
Yeah, they got to do some work.
Yeah, after the first couple of paragraphs,
Well, they need a break every 15 minutes.
they need a mental health day after that.
Child, if they
work-
got to write
So
five,
that's trauma to the brain
right,
trying to
a
read.
5-paragraph essay, it's over.
Not
is.
trauma to the brain.
It's trauma to the brain.
Trauma to
That
the
is
brain.
very stressful. I've seen the
Yeah,
the
they stress out to read for real.
I mean, okay. In all seriousness,
That was serious.
I'm trying to pretend it wasn't.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
Okay. When we were coming up, my brother and I got a day. My mom would be like,
a day
okay,
for what?
to do like a skip day. We could skip one time a year. One time a school year, I would get a day. And my mom would let me stay home from school, and we would go eat breakfast somewhere. But it was like I wouldn't have considered like a mental health day because we never really missed days of school. 'Cause we didn't really get sick. We had none of that stuff. Like it wasn't none of all that stuff going on now. So we would get one day.
So y'all play hooky.
Just for one day, like out of the whole school year, one day we were allowed because you was going to school with your rubber testing in your body. My mom was not playing that. You sniffling, take this, bye. Till you
Well,
get back.
I got that award.
For the what?
Perfect attendance.
Perfect attendance.
I got a few of those.
But as a further review, that senior year,
Amen.
that was over with.
It's enough.
I took plenty of mental health days. I didn't even know I was taking mental health days back then. Yeah. I could check my own self out.
Well, I took my mental health day every time we knew we had a test.
So you just didn't show up.
He just wasn't go.
So I ain't come to school, so I'll call my friend, hey man, what was on the test? Then I come back next day and do the makeup test.
And be
Aced it
alright.
every time.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. I ain't mad at you for that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I was one of the ones that had trauma when I had to read.
Oh, so you understand
So you
the trauma.
understand
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's coming
I'll
from
sit there and
a place
start
of
reading and I'll be like, you know.
Well,
I
not
couldn't
having
do it.
a
Yeah.
real panic attack.
Convulsing because you have to read and write.
True
Start
stress.
slobbing and foaming and carrying on, because I'm trying to pronounce words in my head, all
But-
that
So
good stuff.
it was real
Yeah.
relatable.
He was telling us from personal experience.
But kids really are, I think, since COVID, I believe now there are these
Here we go.
catch terms where kids are depressed, they're mentally ill, they have ADHD.
Because
They need
what?
this.
Because again,
I don't know. I'm assuming it was during COVID.
but who told them?
I don't know. It's like an explosion of, yes, people do need therapy, and yes, people do have mental illnesses. Some people do. But now it's like we're purposely labeling our children with mental health issues. Like, you are depressed. No, there is something wrong with you. Let's go take you to the doctor and get you medicated. Well, you can't say the S word, but yes, you do want to take yourself out. Let's talk about it. And I just think kids now are very different from, and there are lots of different circumstances. You have social media influencing. You have, it's just the kids are brought up differently. They're not as
tough.
Yes.
So you're saying the kids nowadays are being coached to believe they have mental health issues or in disabilities?
I think
things like that.
You have a pool of children that are, you have a pool of children that aren't. Because I don't know at what point we have decided that we're labeling students as being depressed, or was it that when we were growing up, children were depressed, but we didn't have the proper resources for it. Like, I can't figure out which one it is.
We didn't have
I think
any.
I didn't have depression growing up.
Yeah.
No,
we
we
didn't have.
didn't.
Nah.
This is the thing. This, at least in my opinion, I feel like the stuff that we were exposed to as kids, we were tough enough to figure it out. Oh, we beefing? I'm not depressed because little Susie don't like me. Little Susie and I gonna meet at 4 o'clock after school and duke it out. And then the loser is the loser.
Yeah.
Then I ain't got to worry about it. Problem solved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now these kids don't. They don't know how to. And I'm not saying that was the best way of settling our differences. We weren't always fighting.
Right.
But you would. We just dealt with it. Like bullying still happens. People calling each other names. We were just tough enough. If you call me ugly in the 5th grade, I don't even know your name from the 5th grade. So you're not impacting me now. But now it's like, well, I mean, I don't, because I done went to 3 5th grade classes, but it was like now they're on the internet trolling each other.
Right,
now,
that's what I'm saying.
Now it's like undercover. It was, before. I just feel like they're not as resilient in those ways as we had to be, but also how we grew up, it wasn't so much access. So we were cut off from like adult situations and adult things.
Right.
Children, we were kids when we were kids, and we got grown. These kids now are exposed to more adult ideals way younger.
Right. So they have the internet, they have access to so much social media.
Yeah.
So
Broken homes.
That too.
What'd you say?
Broken homes.
Definitely, they do have a lot of broken homes. I mean, we had broken homes as well, but we didn't know how broken it was. It was just normal. Because again, we didn't have any labels like Miss Carter talked about. We didn't have labels on anything. We just was going through like it was just childhood. It was normal. And nowadays, I hear even my friends talk about you need to get counseling because of the trauma. Like now that's a big word, trauma, that you went through. So now the kids, they go through trauma and they need.
What trauma are they going through specifically?
I'm
not being funny. Like, I'm really trying to, like, what does that look like for a 6th or 7th grader to go through trauma?
Loneliness, not feeling loved.
No, not home stuff. I'm saying, okay, well, I guess that does play a part, so go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, home, loneliness.
Lonely, not feeling loved, people not being there for them, people might have daddy say, I'm going to come get you, but don't show up. And, and mama throwing sauce on everything, talking about it, and it just increases on the child, trying to figure out what is going on, it just puts them in a hole where they just feel like they're by themselves. So they just, and then on top of that, then, they already got issues going on at home, and then you got to come to school and try to reuse your mind again to try to get this stuff down, which it makes it even more difficult. And today's parents, just straight up, they lazy. A lot of them just lazy. They don't deal with their child like that. They just throw them in the room, they close the door, and they go about their business.
Right, or give them the iPad. Yep. So with all of the labels and titles that we do have, do you think that anything is helping this generation of students obtain peace of mind?
Well, they're going to talk to somebody.
At this point, it's God. That's it.
It don't be God because some of them don't believe in God.
Yeah, a lot of exactly. But I'm talking about for the ones that know, we have to pray for these kids now. Because these kids, they don't know God because nobody's going to teach them about God and everything. Not saying that God's going to be the absolute solution for the whole thing, because everybody wants some type of environment where they have good friends around them to help them through their situations or whatever. But I'm just saying, as the adults, the older adults who know them, pretty much, you trying to talk to a child, like I say, I play basketball all the time, and I talk to a lot of the young guys all the time. I ain't never seen so many sad kids in my life. I've never seen.
They're very
they're just sad.
Like they just look
sad.
What's the term? Like, emo. Like they just look like they have a spirit of just depression over them. Like they're walking around with, and this isn't everybody, that if you have this attire, it doesn't mean you're depressed. But it's the look of being unkept. Like they're not dirty, but they just look dingy, like they're slouched over. They don't care about anything. And we are living in an age where we have so much technology. We have all of these different modalities of healing. You can do this. You can do sound bowl therapy. You can pray. You can go out and ground.
Touch the grass, right?
Right,
modality.
Yeah.
What I mean?
But
different ways that you can heal.
Okay.
You have TikTok. You have all of these different social media platforms. But I feel like we as a society we're just regressing.
But like you said about the parent piece, we do see kids really torn up about maybe not having their father or in their life or something like that. Like for us, we came from homes that didn't have two parents, right? But I think back then it was just different because you had your grandmothers, you had your uncles, you had
we didn't have access to social media neither.
Right.
But I'm saying something was really wrong.
Filling the gap.
Right.
For that love piece. And I just think it's too many missing elements right now from kids' life.
I would say, so for me, and everybody didn't have that. Because like when you were growing up, like for me, I grew up everywhere. Like people, when we talk about that, like when it's time to go home, go to a place, there's not a place I can go that this is where I grew up and talk about this. I don't have that because I literally was moving constantly as a military kid. And I only had my mom there. We didn't have grandma and whoever because nobody lived where we were at. So it was just that my one little tiny family, that was all I had, was just my mom, my brother, and myself.
But you were used to that. That's what you were accustomed to.
True, but when you talk about having people, because it didn't mean I didn't desire to have a family that looked normal at the time, which would have been both my parents, and being able to do like what you're saying and go to my grandmother's house or go home for the holidays. It was just Thanksgiving. There was 4 people at my table.
Okay, so would you say that you felt like you were a depressed kid then? Because
no,
of that?
I won't, but I will say that there are things that I value a lot more as an adult because I lacked them as a kid.
Okay.
Like stability is very important to me. Having a place that my kids can come home is very important to me. So that's why I'm like, we're in this house. I don't care. My husband could say he want to move all day. We not moving. Like he might as well get over it. But like for me, that's important. But I think like I look at my own 2 kids and I say, okay, y'all have grown up with 2 parents in your home.
Right.
And what you're talking about, the kids with the hoodies, man, if I showed you a picture of my kids look like when they went to school today, you'd be like, what is wrong with them?
I said it's not all kids that
no,
wear
but I'm
that,
saying they do that. They're all doing they just put the hoodie. Like, I'm looking at my kids like, y'all got all these nice clothes in y'all closet. It's a choice. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
For some kids, it's truly just a choice. Because, and I almost think, I feel like some of these kids have so much. It's like, and I had this conversation with my daughter not too long ago. I said, it's like y'all want something to be wrong.
But this generation, if you notice, they don't care about labels.
No. They want a label.
This generation that's coming up, they don't care about the Yves Saint Laurent, the Louis Vuitton. They don't care about any of these. Like, they want experience. So maybe, that's why they're not really, interested in really being flamboyant.
Now, some of them do. Some of them do care, but most
they don't care about it.
My daughter be like, "Can we go to TJ Maxx?" Girl, what? That's what you want to do? Yeah, I saw some jeans for $6. What's wrong with TJ Maxx? It's nothing, but I'm saying like when we was coming up, I wanted the jeans, like the mud jeans and this and that. I'm like, you want some $6 jeans?
They don't care about.
But that hoodie, baby, they wear the same hoodie, same jacket. They don't. And I'm like, you have a washer and a dryer. Wash it.
That's a whole nother story, a whole nother topic. Like that's why we economically are in trouble because we put price tags on things. But that's,
you're right.
Like that's crazy work. Like
I just think
I'd rather have some $6 jeans
Now listen,
and a $600 in my pocket with them $6 jeans.
listen.
That's
Now we do it all day, but I just kind of look at it like I'm looking at how they dress. Like you're saying, they just kind of. I do feel like some kids. They want something to be wrong so they can say, "Oh, I'm depressed because my friend like."
It's almost at this point for some. I have to give a disclaimer. For some, it seems as if it's like if you're not on some type of mental health medication, it's almost like something is wrong with you.
Yeah, like if you're regular.
Like to echo what you're saying, like if you don't have like no, I'm not depressed. No, I don't feel these ideologies about myself where I want to take myself out, then it's something wrong with me.
Right.
Well, the parents are accustomed to taking drugs, so the kids are going to take drugs. I had a conversation just last week with an adult, and we were talking about prescription drugs, and I mentioned that that's one of the most addictive drugs here in America. Like, it's a huge problem. And I don't think we talk enough about other solutions, like other natural things that we can take, other things that we can do besides taking prescription medication. So, that's the easy fix. Let me give you this to handle this. Not to say people don't need stuff. Hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. All I can tell you what works or what has worked for me when I've been down and depressed. Getting sunlight, being outside, like it does wonders. Journaling, gratitude jars, just different things that we can do. But the first solution that we have is, going to talk to somebody, taking some medicine. They depressed, they got anxiety, just all this different stuff. But there are kids that do suffer from, I wouldn't say suffer from mental illness, but that have trouble at home that they go through, and they may need some mental health days, but when they're going through stuff at home, being at school is the mental health day to me because the house is raggedy.
Okay.
The home life is just tore up.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. They're escaping. They can escape at school. I agree.
Never mind.
But then when they get to school, the only thing about that is at school, that's gonna say then and it's not all, but I do see that you gonna act up at
because
school
you're a kid. You want the attention of your parents. So, and this isn't all of them, but a lot of them do have, behavioral issues where they want to get the attention of their guardian. So,
I don't know. I feel like they got enough days out of school. If the issue is at school, they got enough days out, and then we got 180 days of school that they can be in to escape. I don't know I don't know if there's a fix for that situation. They have a lot out, they got a lot in. I don't know.
What do you think?
I mean, kids gonna take mental health days anyway. Whether they get permission or they don't get permission, they gonna take it. If they just don't want to come, they're not gonna come.
I'm sick.
That's just it. I don't feel good. And, and most parents are not gonna make them get up and go to school if they don't want to go. Most parents are not gonna do it. I'm not saying all parents do that, but some kids just gonna say.
Some parents will.
Yeah, some parents.
Because I done seen some kids sitting up in class, don't want to do nothing, ain't working, got their head down, sleep,
need to be
just can't get nothing out of them. Why you at school? My mama made me come.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the school period. It's just hard to do, to get your education when that's something that's not really in your heart, what you want to do. I believe every child has a special gift in them. It just somehow, some way, we as adults got to help them, guide them to that place to where they can find that niche that's what's in them. They have a passion for it. Then they'll go after it a little bit harder than it would versus trying to sit there and read a book, learn English, learn math, social studies. That shit don't interest them. That's not even nothing they don't even want to get into.
Routine, boring.
And a lot of kids, like I talk to a lot of guys now, they say that, man, all that stuff I learned in school, we don't even use it now. What we doing with it now? What are you doing with it now? So some sometimes, you just have to get to the point to where you have to, and I say it all the time, and I tell young kids all the time, you better find your trade, man, something that you like to do.
Yeah.
What's your
'Cause
passion?
That's where the
and
money
they
is,
don't
because
push-
even going to school,
push
they
that
get a
enough.
degree.
We really don't.
No.
Really, you're not really making money with that degree. No, not really.
No, you're gonna have a different career path.
But you go in there and fix an air conditioner or fix somebody's electric or whatever,
That's where
oh
the money
man, they're gonna
resides.
fill your pockets up.
You always gonna need something like that.
Yeah, that's always be around, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I understand, because I myself, I love math dearly because that's what I do as a math teacher. But you tell me to go in there and teach a reading class, hang it up. Don't worry about it.
Same, vice versa.
Yeah, because for me, it's finna be a mental health issue now.
With the
Listen.
reading?
Because I served
Big anxiety.
I served a reading
If I
class
could-
for one day.
I taught a math class.
And
for
I
a
did it
whole
one
year.
day. When I left there, I had to go get me a drink.
For reading that?
For reading, yes.
Listen, that social study was
Coleman,
taking me
reading.
out.
Oh,
Okay? Social studies
Coleman.
was taking
Let
me
me tell you
love
something. I was in the. I was.
boring as hell.
Oh, you
I
go
had a
anywhere.
position where I had to teach all 4 subjects. That math didn't get taught.
I got a book right now. I
We
wanna
had a
read it so
strong
bad,
2
can't do it.
weeks. That thing had me stressed out. That thing had me stressed out.
And see, when me in the reading class, I told them, open your computer. Read so-and-so and tell me what you got out of it. And I was going to sit there, whatever they told me, I'd have gone with whatever else they gave me because I damn sure didn't read it.
Is it that you don't like to read it, or is it just stressful?
I
It's
mean,
boring?
I know I don't like to read.
I like to
Read. My mind is not going to stay focused long enough to figure out what's going on in the story. And I know if I go through that, I know a lot of kids are going through the same thing.
Agreed.
Now, when you're dealing with numbers, I'm a more of a systems pattern type of person.
Yes, exactly.
When you deal with that, now you got me locked in on that. I'll do that all day long.
Yep.
But you talking about sitting there reading a book? I tried it. Now sometimes I'll read, when something, because I'm a big conspiratist. Now you give me a good conspiracy book.
Murder of reality.
Murder of Reality.
That book is $300.
Right.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh,
You would really like that
you have
book.
to send that to me.
Murder of Reality.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
So you want me to buy it and then we share it?
Yeah, we'll share it. But conspiracy I read.
Y'all go half on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
but
gonna
math
read it.
has word problems.
That's fine.
Right, and you have to read.
Yeah, but
it's
see,
not-
the
not
only
the
thing
same.
about the word problems in math is that I enjoy looking for to see if I have to
Correct.
multiply, divide, add, and subtract.
Yes.
To me, it's fun to me.
Yes.
But I
It's
know
a
with most
puzzle.
kids, yes, when it comes to word problems, they don't want to do that. And
No.
then next thing you know, I see them instead of reading that word problem, they'll spaz out or they'll put their head down.
As soon as I see
So I'm
words.
trying
Or
to
it's
figure out,
like, I gotta go to the bathroom, because they don't want to deal with it.
well, what do they want to do? That's my thing.
Nothing.
Well, the thing is-
what do they want to do?
Nothing.
Well, they have to want to do something.
No, they don't.
You give them their phone, they be up in their phone all
happy
day.
as hell.
They can read in.
They can
All
read
day.
them.
They can read then.
Yep.
Only if it's negative. They can read it most of the time. And, I'm not saying it's all negative and some positive, but negative news is good news for them.
Yeah.
So
All
that's what they
news, yeah.
stick with them. Yeah, they stick with that.
I'm the same way. I'm not reading nothing. I got a book right now. I swear it looked like it's gonna be good. I just can't do it. It's not in me.
Book like
I'm not gonna
Chinese and
read
me.
it. I'm not gonna
You
read
can
it.
go
You want me to
anywhere
give it
with
to you?
reading.
You can get it's a Cassandra Brown book. I
Anywhere.
ain't-
There's
Take
so
a
much
look.
information.
And a book.
It's boring though. I'm the same way with Colin, but I like numbers too. I ain't doing it.
Boring.
I
Can't go anywhere.
And that's how you know we had checked out.
Yeah.
But we're only children, so maybe that has something to do with it. I spent a lot of time alone, so I had a lot
Yeah.
of books to read. To
And we had a
entertain.
lot of friends,
Yeah.
fake friends,
Yes.
made up friends.
Absolutely. We sit
Yeah.
them all down and say, "Okay, I'm gonna
Play
read to
school
you
with
all."
your bears and your dogs.
Y'all had imaginary friends?
Yes.
I had one too.
Yeah,
actually.
with the
But that was just
really
one,
our
though.
toys. Like we
Yeah.
really, girl, you see that like
it wasn't like people. You put your little dolls in a row and you read to them. Or
And-
see when
and-
you're an
and-
only child, you gotta really be
you have to use
creative.
your
And you know what?
imagination.
That's
Real.
and that's very good that y'all did it because a lot of kids don't have that today. Because I remember when I was growing up, I would go in the backyard and I would imitate kung fu movies. I would actually sit there and be doing the dub and everything with my damn you. And to me, that was fun.
Yeah.
I was having a good
Yep.
I was having a good time back there by myself, just doing kung fu. I thought I was in a, I would picture myself in a bar or something, and I'm just beating everybody's ass.
Show me
Gosh,
You were by yourself.
by myself. And that was my own imagination, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids today, they don't have that. They
That's
don't have
right.
the opportunity to use their imagination.
Because they have too much technology.
Right.
They don't
Right.
have to imagine because
They don't have to
it's all
imagine
right
no more.
here.
So now it
So
takes
they
away
got
the
they
use of their
stressed
mind.
out. I got anxiety. I need a mental health day.
Mhm.
It's too much pressure.
It comes full circle.
We-
That answers the question. There you go.
Listen. You better figure it out. You had homework. You played sports. I had a student tell me I can't do the homework because I got a long night. I got football practice.
When I
You
tell
gonna get this zero too.
let me tell you something. One thing, see that, but that's parenting because at my house, my husband be like, "You going to practice?"
Tenfold.
And I don't care what time you go to bed, but that homework gonna be done.
All right,
My
go,
husband
George.
was sitting there, we was doing that.
25, 6, 9, 8.
Hey!
Right.
You been watching sports.
That's why I was laughing. I was like, I was like, what?
You calling the play.
No. Oh,
Who calling the play?
So you need to watch a little more football.
The,
A little bit.
What's
The
the
quarterback.
Okay. Quarterback calling the
Go
play.
ahead, George.
Yeah, and then you throw it to the receiver, right?
Yeah, and then he gets the 3-pointer.
She's trying to catch up, boo.
Anyway, Nikki, what were you saying?
we make sure our kids do our homework. That's parenting. Part of that is parenting. As parents, that's our job. We're supposed to make sure the kids. Playing sports is what thing,
Girl,
but your
listen,
sports don't override. Sports do
Listen,
not override your education.
listen.
That's parenting.
Y'all, we talking about parenting. We ain't have mom and daddy. First of all, I ain't had daddy. But my mama went in there saying, you better do your homework. You
That's right.
knew you better do your homework.
But that's what I'm
Like,
saying. Parents are supposed to
I
have
didn't have to be told it's time to get your lesson. That's what the old people call it, baby.
Right.
Lesson. I ain't have to be told that. I knew that what I had to do.
Right.
You come
I'm
in,
not
you
saying
come
that
in
there's
and go
anything
straight to
wrong
that dining
with
room
that, but
table.
That's
my
right.
point.
Sit your ass down
That's
and get on that
right.
work.
Right.
And then
Nobody
once you
had to
get
tell
done, then
you.
you go outside, and then you got to be back in before it got dark.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but
street
that's my
light
point.
came
Is that
on.
it's parenting. It's up to parents to ensure that stuff is done.
Well, they
I'm
put
not
the device in front of the child when they're 6 months old. They don't color, they don't read.
3 months.
And the child's going to have degenerative
Brain rot.
issues
They
with their
can't even
eyes.
write.
Brain rot.
Brain rot.
That's what they're doing, rotting it up.
We do not give any medical advice here on the Real Teachers of Atlanta.
A lot of these kids are AI.
They're not. Wait, the kids.
Mhm.
They're
The
they are
children themselves
MP.
are in AIs.
They are empty.
But that goes back to the depression, the void of emotion. They don't smile. They don't laugh. Some of them
They don't like to speak.
don't. No, they're
Oh,
just
they ain't
mute.
speaking. You can forget that.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you there?
They just be grunting.
And then we talked about before about the food. I believe that playing a part as well.
Oh, amen. Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Don't worry about it.
What? Okay.
I guess we ain't going now.
Well, the moral of the whole thing right now, with the kids having mental health issues right now.
That
When they-
that voice went out. Okay.
Yeah, my voice ain't cleared up.
Okay, start
But
back
a
up.
lot of kids that have mental health issues, I mean, I don't think that's something that that these schools will ever do to try to say they can get a day, because I think they get enough days off throughout the year already. And a lot of times, I think these kids have enough days off throughout the school year where they should come in and feel refreshed most of the time, because really I just kind of just put it on the teachers, because they're the ones, even on when the kids are off, they're the one that's still at the
working,
school,
yeah.
still working,
Well, the kids got the counselor.
huh?
They have an in-school counselor.
Counselor's a waste of time. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
I gotta tell you what it is.
I agree.
Showtime.
Because the reason I'm not putting counselors down, but my thing with that is that the
Interrupting
child has
class.
to want it.
Mm-hmm.
The child has to want to be counseled,
They do.
and that's the problem.
Yeah, some of them don't.
So-and-so said that when I need a break, I take my slip and I go see the counselor officer. I got to go see her.
Yeah, that just got the classroom.
That's an escape.
Yes,
That's what that is.
That's all that is. Just go down there, and just get away from whatever.
That's avoidance. That's work avoidance.
They probably had a book open
Probably with some words on that page.
with some words on that page.
Miss Johnson, I gotta go.
I need to go see the
I
counselor.
gotta go see the counselor.
Right now.
What's going on? I just gotta go.
Mhm.
There's too many words on this page. It says the.
Cause like, listen, cause I feel I understand where they come from. Cause I don't took BC Powder's trying to read, so I know.
We need to unpack this
we
because
gotta-
reading is not supposed to be this stressful.
It's boring.
Whoa, my mind, it just won't lock
start
in.
a book club.
Y'all be by yourself.
I
book club.
absolutely love a book, not a
So
butt
in-
plug,
What she said?
a book club.
Oh, book club.
Wait,
Okay.
that's
Y'all go ahead.
He
with
thought
that.
you said a butt
I'm
plug.
about to say hell no, not me.
No. We know a
Okay.
book club.
A book
All right.
club. Me and Coleman be somewhere.
And you
Y'all
can
go
talk
ahead.
about the book
Nobody
and
trying to do
discuss the
that.
characters.
For what?
What was the protagonist feeling like?
Make
What
sure
was
it
the
has plenty of pictures in it for me.
Please.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Yes. Few words.
that's
Lots
And,
of
show,
child
and
That's like
a
a graphic.
smaller book. Give me a smaller book.
High five. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I know.
It's
Don't
too
worry
many
about it. I
pages.
know.
Y'all
Make
trying
your
to
face
stress
up and
us out.
everything.
Thank you for watching The Real Teachers of Atlanta. You can find me on IG at Ty P. Smith.
Oh, that was it. You can find me on IG at @IAM_Nikki Dr.
You can find me at Joya Carter at Instagram.com. It's not a .com. It's just at Instagram.
It's just
Cut that part out. Go ahead, Cole.
And you know he not.
I forgot my other Instagram page, but I do have another one. But you can find me on Schoolboys Lawn Service.
That's not it.
It's sincerely underscore
Oh,
Coco.
sincerely underscore Coco. Now I remember. But I also have Schoolboys Lawn Service as well, as you can watch some of my good detailed work out there.
You know, if you're having issues with mental lapse, you can look at Omega, like fish oils, lion's mane, ginkgo biloba.
I got some lion's mane powder.
You know,
in the
kids
house.
ain't gonna take no shit like that. What's wrong with you?
My
kids
dog
want-
take fish oil.
You give
Yeah,
kids
fish
that
oil.
shit. You give them a Flintstone vitamin, they'll take that. Do they still
like
sell
Well, they're
They can
giving
try a
kids.
gummy.
You can, yeah,
I take gummies.
gummy?
yeah.
But it has to have cannabis in it for these kids these days.
I was gonna say that's the only gummies I know about.
No, you can do vegetable gummies, fruit gummies. They're not like the weed gummies.
Don't worry about it, Joe.
Oh, okay. Because
Joy.
I was gonna say I got some gummies
You're
from
so
Better
out of touch
Oak.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We hope that you have enjoyed this show, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Hey,
All right, so what? You don't want me to mess with you tonight?
no, I'm cranky. I'm tired. I'm not trying to watch
You're
out
not going
how
to
you
wrestle
do
here in a little bit?
Well, maybe.
We got the queens in the house.